Hey friend, welcome to episode 6 of the Nick Stewart Show, helping you get better faster. Today we're going to talk about creating content, okay? If you're new to this whole building your business online thing and you're like, oh my god, I gotta start producing all this content, where do I even begin? Where do I start? Have you ever felt overwhelmed like that before? Or even if you're not new into network marketing or online business, but have not really been able to be consistent with your content, or you're becoming fearful because you're running out of ideas. I know exactly what you're talking about. And today we're going to have a discussion about how I create a year's worth of content in one day. Before we dive in though, I want to point you over to my 100% free 45-minute workshop designed to help you make an additional $1,000 a month in your network marketing business right away. In that workshop, I go over the 4 components you need to build a successful network marketing company. It's a very powerful little masterclass, okay? In the workshop, you're going to discover where people might be falling through the cracks in your business, and also guidance for you to be able to help the people on your team also make an additional $1,000 a month, okay? It's totally free. Just go to www.nickstewartcoaching.com, get a pen, get a piece of paper, and start taking some notes. There's a lot of good stuff there. www.nickstewartcoaching.com. But hey, so how to create a year's worth of content in one day? Let's discuss. If you have an online business, maybe you can identify with how I used to feel when it came to producing content. I would literally sit there in front of my computer with a few books in front of me, and I'd be looking at all the highlighted sections in the book, except the only problem was that they're always really good books, so there's like everything is highlighted. So I couldn't really differentiate what to talk about. I couldn't really come up with an idea, okay? I'd sit there and I'd scan and I'd think what to make a video or a post about, and I would just stare at the screen or the book and just hoping a good idea would just jump out at me. Sure, I'd come up with a killer title or something like that, and then 10 minutes would go by and I haven't produced anything yet besides that title. I'd get stressed. I'd feel overwhelmed. Imposter syndrome would kick in hard. As we talked about in the last episode, episode 5, if you haven't watched episode 5, I recommend you go back and watch it or listen to it. It talks about imposter syndrome and how to beat it. But anyway, I'd be stressing out, okay? I'd be stressing out in front of my computer because I knew I had to produce something, but I'd just sit there and look at the blank screen or a blank Google Doc and just wait for a genius idea to pop into my head. I don't know where the idea would come from, but if I just stared at that screen long enough, maybe a brilliant idea would just, come slap me in the face or something. I don't know. It was a mess, if I'm being totally honest with you. I would scramble every day or every week because I knew I had to put content out there, and I was keeping up, but I didn't have any schedule and nothing was planned. I obviously made it work because I've accomplished what I've accomplished, right? That's not really the point. But ultimately, I just got good at winging it. And my friend, winging it is not a good strategy. Winging things is never a good strategy. Stop winging your business. Stop winging your life. And for that matter, get a grip, okay? Get a grip. Having a plan, operating your days with intention, living intentionally, and having a plan is always way better than just winging it, okay? Sure, things don't always go to plan, and that's okay. If they did, that'd be a pretty boring life. But having a plan always leads to a better outcome because you've thought all the different options through. Okay, I had this conversation with a friend of mine just the other day. He's in network marketing and has been trying to build a business over Facebook for probably a year and a half now. Okay, And he was telling me that he's running out of ideas. He can't think of anything else to produce. No more content. It's too hard. It's impossible. And as a result of that, he's slowly losing his influence and his business is slowly dwindling away, right? I didn't know what to say. I had to be a little harsh and give him a bit of a reality check. I told him, man, when I was rocking in my business, I was producing content every day for at least 5 or 6 years. Whether it was just a good quality post or a video, I showed up every day and sometimes multiple times a day. If you can't produce content, for at least a couple times a week for like maybe a year and a half or something is broken there, my friend. I might be being a bit mean here, but the point is, it is very possible to produce quality, engaging, helpful, relevant, valuable content for years and years and years into a business, and because it acts like a foundational cog in your business, pumping out leads, making sales, and driving the machine that is your business, because that's what your content does. You can't just stop making content. Stop other things before stop making content. Consistency with your content is everything, and that's how you start to generate leads automatically, okay? This is why in my course, Network Marketing Influencer Academy, I go over this topic step by step. It is so important. Content drives the machine. Content sells for you when you're not selling, okay? Imagine this, okay? Instead of sitting in front of your screen, staring at a blank Google Doc, not knowing what to talk about today, and not knowing what to train my team on, I don't know what video to shoot for this week, which is what I did for years, by the way. That's how I ran my business. Instead of doing that, what if you had a list, a beautiful curated plan of a year's worth of content perfectly mapped out? Just pull it up, and when it's time to shoot a video or train your team on a topic, you just go through this list and go, I think I'll pick that one today. How much easier would your life be? How much better would your trainings be? How much more consistent would you be able to be? Imagine how it would feel to have years worth of content or a year's worth of content all mapped out so you don't have to think about it for another 12 months. Imagine the stress relief. Imagine the space that would free up in your mind so then you can go focus on other things. Things like setting up a throughway call, setting up more of them, doing more prospecting, setting up more virtual coffees, just meeting more people. Help those team members on your team that just need that extra little push, right? Learn how you can serve them better. Learn how you can get more results out of what you have. Take courses, read more books. So many more things that you could be doing. You could devote so much more brain power to those things if you already had a year's worth of content already mapped out, right? So here it is, a very simple process. You ready? And keep in mind, this isn't something that I came up with. My business coach taught this to me, and it works miracles. So I'm basically just sharing his message, okay? So it starts with something very simple called content buckets. You need to have content buckets, okay? So what the heck is a content bucket? Very simple. In your niche, the area you are speaking into, okay, you could be a Zaya rep talking about clothes. You could be in a health and wellness business, a water business, a nail business, a makeup and beauty business, a cooking business, a tech business, a Forex business. Whatever your niche is, you should be able to identify 4 to 5 areas of discussion or buckets within your topic that all of your content can live in, okay? So for example, if you are in Beachbody and were a fitness instructor, what are 4 or 5 content buckets where everything you produce could live in? Weight loss, that's probably going to be a really big one, right? Fitness, just in general, getting more fit, different exercises, different routines for different areas of the body, stuff like that. Food and nutrition, educating people on what foods do what for your body, and maybe some different recipes and stuff like that. Positive mindset, success mindset. Maybe this fitness person does a lot of breath work and meditation or incorporated into his or her routines, right? So this is what you have to think about. Out of everything you talk about, train on, teach, or coach about, can you talk about everything you'd ever want to talk about in 4 to 5 main categories? Doing this does 2 things for you. 1, it'll help you produce content much faster. Number 2, for your team members or audience, it gives a lot more structure and intentionality as to what to produce, okay? So instead of just a ton of random content all over the place, that I'm sure is still good, right? Like I'm not saying it's bad content, but you have structure, and the people in your audience or team know what they can expect, so they come back for more of what they are looking for, okay? So for example, in this business, and in my business, in this coaching business, there are 4 main topics that I talk about, okay? And everything I talk about falls within one of those 4 buckets. Do you know what they are? You might be able to figure them out if you pay attention and watch all the episodes, okay? Number 1 is getting started in your network marketing business. Number 2 is growing and duplicating your network marketing business. So what kind of content do you think fits in that bucket, right? Webinar strategies, sales strategies, strategies on duplication or creating your perfect system, right? Like the perfect onboarding system. Number 3 is work-life balance. I used to be all about the hustle life, the hustle mentality, right? Work every waking hour and sleep when you're dead. I made a lot of money, sure, but it robbed me of my happiness and joy in my life. That's a topic I'm very passionate about, and I don't want anyone to go through what I went through, so I talk about it a lot, right? So that's my work-life balance section. My 4th bucket is success mindset, okay? No sales strategies, just me trying to shift the way you think about different philosophical ideas that help you grow mentally, okay? So the idea here, my friend, is to think about every single topic you can teach, and you can probably narrow it down to 4 or 5 buckets, okay? I want you to literally write this out. Sure, there will be some overlap in your buckets, okay? Like that's okay. Like this is not a perfect science. Doing this will help you serve your audience and your team even better, because now you have some intentionality behind your content, and you will have balance because you will want to hit all 4 to 5 of those categories. Know what I mean? Like you won't just be talking about one thing all the time. So I want you to create your 4 to 5 buckets, okay? This could take you 5 minutes. This could take you an hour. That doesn't really matter. Just create them, and then once you do that, you're good to go. That's step 1. Step 2 is, if you don't know what to create or talk about, well, ask your audience or your team. What do they need help with? Ask them what topics they would like to learn more about. What pain is your team or your audience trying to get rid of, okay? Do they have a weight loss goal, a money goal, a happiness goal, a diet goal? What are they looking for? Fish for their goals so you know what content to create. It is that simple. And then step number 3, what you want to do once a year is your content map out day or weekend, okay? So once a year, open up your Google Doc where you have all these ideas stored for all your 4 content buckets, and the responses that you've gathered from people and what they need help with, your team members and your audience, okay? This is very simple. You just put 4 to 5 headings on this Google Doc, and those are your content buckets. And then underneath these content buckets, I want you to just bullet out 12 post ideas based on what your audience and team was telling you and what you already know that you want to share in the coming year, okay? The idea here is, let's say you have 4 main ideas, okay? 4 content buckets. instead of thinking about a year's worth of content, assuming you're going to make just one piece of content per week, that can be, your post or your amazing video or whatever type of content you are creating, okay? It doesn't need to be one or the other. If you can make more than that, wonderful, good for you, the more the merrier, right? The key here is to pick a number that you can be consistent with year after year. And for most, once a week is a number most people can be pretty consistent with. So how many weeks are there in a year? Well, 52. If you've made 12 pieces of content out of your 4 buckets, how many weeks do you have content for? 48, okay? This works out perfect for me because, well, I like to take December off. and then in December, I do all my planning for the next year. So this works well, okay? The idea here is breaking this down to that if I only need to come up with 12 pieces of start your network marketing business topics for the entire year, I can do that mentally. That's easy. That's not overwhelming, right? If I only need to come up with 12 success mindset ideas for the whole year, I can do that. That's not overwhelming. And then the cool thing here with having 4 content buckets is that because there are 4 weeks in a month, now you're teaching or producing content on a new topic every week, and you can then structure your buckets week by week. For example, what I mean is I'm always going to talk about work-life balance in the last week of the month and so on, right? This gives your content even more structure, and now you're better able to gauge which content buckets your audience or your team finds most helpful and engaging, okay? This is extremely powerful. But Nick, what about next year? What if I run out of ideas for next year? Oh my God, what am I going to do? What then? My friend, you will never run out of ideas because you never need to come up with anything new. Yes, I just said that. You never need to come up with anything new, ever. This will take so much pressure off your shoulders. I'm going to say it again. You don't need to come up with anything new because there is nothing new to say. Everything that can be said in network marketing, success, work-life balance, has already been said. We aren't Elon Musk here. We aren't these billionaire visionaries trying to come up with new concepts, okay? We are just you and me. If you're like Elon Musk, then good for you. I'm not. I'm just a regular guy working his butt off, trying to impact the world and help you get results in your business. And that, my friends, is nothing new, okay? You don't need to come up with new topics every year. All you need to do is come up with a new way to talk about an old topic. There is nothing new, especially in motivational speaking. I applaud the people who can make a living doing motivational speaking because they are not saying anything new. They're saying the same things as the other guy, just in their own words, okay? Describing an old topic in a new way. And that's all you have to do, my friend. So for me, for example, an example could be the 3 worst things to do when starting in network marketing. And then the next year, it could be the 3 best things to do when starting in network marketing. See, it's nothing new. It's talking about old things in a new way. And that's all you have to do. My friend, I hope this helped you. And as always, I want to bring up again my 100% free 45-minute workshop. My mini class, if you will, that teaches you the 4 components you need to build a successful network marketing business. This workshop is designed to help you make an additional $1,000 a month in your network marketing business. Just go to www.nickstewartcoaching.com and check it out. Friend, thanks for taking the time to listen to this. I hope it helped you. I loved hanging out with you here. Have an amazing day, and God bless.